We're here at DC Collectibles with Jim Fletcher. He's going to kind of give us the tour, and he's going to kick it off with, I think, the biggest news from them at this particular toy fair.
It's his boots. Look at these boots.
Those boots are pretty slick.
That's why I go to the show. Then we can just kick it off, and we're all set.
Hands down, I think the biggest buzz that we saw coming into this show was the Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. And I know Phantasm also got some people excited too, but this shows real commitment to kind of rejuvenating Batman the Animated Series, especially as far as collectibles. What made you guys start with this?
Well, actually, I drove this in today.
Nice.
So that was spectacular. And actually, before you stop filming the car, it also does stuff. Not only does it just sit there looking amazing, it actually has lights in it. So the cockpit lights up.
Look at that.
The canopy closes back and forth. There's lights in the back and the front. It's got real rolling wheels that actually move different directions.
Wow.
So it's awesome. You know what's funny? We came out with this very early on. We wanted to do this almost right away when we came up with this line. We weren't sure if we're going to be able to pull it off, but there it is. It's amazing. It's going to be retailing for $100.
$100?
And it fits 2 characters on the inside. So you can see it's got room for Batman and someone else. And of course, safety first.
Yeah. Seatbelts.
I heard he drives pretty quickly.
Yeah, he does.
So that's we're really, really jazzed about this car. It's just, I mean, it's the opening from the show. How do you not do the opening from the whole show? So,
and from what I hear, it's just the beginning.
that is true. We have a lot of big plans for the Batman animated series. We've talked about everything from play sets to other vehicles. There's so much to do with the show, and it's so deep. I just can't wait to keep working on the science. It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Doing something like Roxy Rocket 2 is really neat for us because that figure's never been done before. She actually I'll put it together for you. Her hand got broken off yesterday, but there you go. But the figure's never been done. The rocket actually lights up in the back. She actually can sit on the rocket. It'll come with a little base similar to that, so the rocket will look like it's up in the air.
It's amazing. So what made you guys go with this run of figures for your first, line of these? I mean, obviously Bane's a gimme, Nightwing's a gimme, Penguin, Joker, but, what was the criteria on picking? And you knew you had to have a Batman.
Well, we were a few waves in, so this is waves 3 and 4 that are here. So we're actually a few in at this point.
Right.
But what we decided to do is, instead of just starting in order and taking the series and just going like right across, we decided we'd put some from assortment from the animated series, and then some from the new Batman Adventures. So each wave has 1 from one and 3 of the other. We keep flip-flopping them every other wave. It lets us go deep really quickly without really being held to a time frame and following the show. Which is why, like, Mask of Phantasm is here pretty early. Getting to characters like Mad Hatter and even Croc pretty early on in the line. I think we're showing everybody our dedication to keep moving this thing as far as possible.
Who's somebody that hasn't been done yet that you just can't wait to see?
Well, one of my favorite characters for DC is the Creeper, and he's going to be in that assortment. So that's pretty cool. I'm already happy. Like, yay, got it, it's done. But do you guys have somebody you want?
Wow, that's a great question. I have to be honest, Bane was hands down. No, it's good. Hands down, Bane was my favorite character.
That version of him?
Yep, and so I'm pretty happy now too. I think I know as myself and my friends, we couldn't wait to see Phantasm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool. That's such a great movie.
Yeah,
it really set the tone for the show. This version of Batman, as you can see, he doesn't actually come with a cardboard cutout Batman. He'll come with a real Batman, a little grumpier than the standard Batman over there. So this head will not come off. That's the figure how it's going to be.
Okay.
We actually sculpted that head and put it on this body, and it just looks so like the big shoulder pads on. It just didn't work, so we're like, nope, we're just leaving it like that.
So he's scheduled to hit first quarter of 2016?
Yep.
Awesome. So not too long to wait.
I know. So is that that was a big favor for people in the office too. People really wanted to get to that. And we do have we have a gigantic list up on our wall. We have big whiteboards. We just write. Listen until it makes sense.
So you have Batman.
Makes sense to us, at least.
So you have Batman, Superman.
Yeah, okay, so this is the Jay Lee line of action figures. One of DC Collectibles' mission statements has always been matching the art styles and finding the best sculptors we can to actually pull it off. This is a spectacular job of matching up styling to Jay Lee. John Matthews is one of our sculptors we've had on our stuff for the longest time. He also did the Mike Mignola Batman Black and White piece, and he really nails art styles like nobody I've ever seen. It's just fantastic. These are final production, and you can see the detailing even in the cape.
Oh wow!
Is pretty crazy.
Yes.
So these are the final figures, how they're going to look. They're not prototypes. The detail
and they have good
incredible.
articulation. They look amazing.
Yeah, there are basic articulation for this line of figures. We're doing the same thing with Terry Dodson from his Earth 1 run. So you've got Raven, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and that's Starfire.
Yes.
So looking very different than
absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Yeah,
but that's a
really
great
cool.
likeness. That's a great likeness of what you saw in the book. I love this line. I think the Great Kuma line is another one of my favorites. To see these come to fruition and the care in the detail to capture the actual art style that's 2D, bring it to 3D is amazing.
That's what the art directors that work on the team are just really, really meticulous about staying on top of, making sure it looks like it's supposed to look.
Absolutely. Now, Icons, this is pretty much, this is it for me. I mean, this to me, this is what I grew up on. These are the characters that are the most familiar to me reading DC Comics, even, of course, the new Blue Beetle. But when you see Dead Man and it looks like it's jumping off the page of a Neil Adams cover, and you see iconic Batman and of course, Mr. Miracle. These are the characters that, have that 75 plus years of worship from fans, and I love this line. I can't say enough about it.
Well, that's what the Icons line is actually for. It's cover. I'm glad you brought that up because it's supposed to cover the history of DC. Ivan Rice is drawing all of them, so we can keep them fairly consistent looking despite the different time periods they're from. So yeah, like a Longbow Hunter, Green Arrow that you were talking about, like Hush style Batman, Rise of the Dead Man. They're smaller figures that are 3 and 3/4. These are actually 6-inch figures.
Right.
Our standard figures are 6 3/4, quite a bit taller. The difference is these are going to have a lot of accessories, and they have more articulation than our standard art style figures. One of my favorite accessories, actually, I came up with is this. So Dead Man it'll actually snap onto people, and you'll be able to possess them as Dead Man's been known to do.
That's awesome.
So really fun. So stuff like that, the care that's going into this line with what these characters come with is going to be great. Like this over here, the 3 Atoms.
3 Atoms is
That's all in one box. So you'll get all 3 of them in one thing. You got you get the Riot Joy.
Okay, sorry.
You'll get the Riot Joy, Atomica, and of course the Ray Palmer.
I'm glad you did Adam. Everybody forgets about Adam. I used to love Adam.
Really?
He's getting a nice
well, now you get 3.
Arrow.
So we didn't forget.
Awesome.
We didn't forget him that time. And we also down here have the deluxe, the Green Lantern piece. The armor, the guys went actually crazy designing this, so we're like, well, we better make it a deluxe figure. So this will close over the top of it and everything. So really super excited about this one. And there's a difference between the sizes.
And it's pretty noticeable, but I think you're going to get people playing with these, believe it or not, even though the price point is...
These should be, that's what these are for.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be played with, take this out of the box, use the accessories, mash the whole DCU up into one big playground. That's what they're for. Super excited about this one.
So where's this line going to go? What comes next after?
Wow, this is another one like the Batman one. Giant list of who should we do, who's important to people, what's going on in the DCU that we can actually tap into. So this is just... It should be endless, I hope.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, we actually even sculpted a big giant seahorse for him.
I would buy multiple if you guys did the 80s costume, the Blue Wave costume.
Oh, the Blue Wave. I remember that one. Yeah, that with Craig Hamilton. You were throwing the book back then.
In a heartbeat, I would buy it.
That was a cool looking costume.
Yeah.
But this line could support something like that. That's what the point of this line is, to go back, cover all the bases for what the DC is telling you.
Absolutely.
No Black Manta though.
Soon,
well, there's only 3 ways. There's only 3 ways. I'm pretty sure we'll get to him. I don't know when, but if we're going to see you guys again at San Diego, you're going to see way more.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do for an exclusive with this line, if you're going to do something with that.
Well, it might be that, but there'll definitely be more figures you'll be able to look at from that. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited about this one.
Now,